to me like. Give it 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 to me like.
Hi guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Sipping Tea with Suzanne. I am your fabulous host, Positively Suzanne, and I have with me in the studio the phenomenal Miguelina. How are you?
Hello. Hi, Suzanne. Thank you for having me here. Once again, it's a pleasure to be a repeat visitor to your show and your program. And hello, everybody, in this cold local winter day.
I know, right? Well, it's always a pleasure to have you on. I can't wait to dive in and talk about so much. But I'm going to do a quick word to our sponsors, and then we're going to move forward.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you. So as always, I want to thank all my loyal viewers. Thank you for not only subscribing to the channel, but for tuning in week after week. For those of you who can't join us now, I know that you will join us this afternoon and watch it. I do appreciate all your likes, your shares, your feedback, your email. Just know that every week I promise to bring you, if not one, but two phenomenal guests. So thank you for that. If you're not subscribed, please make sure that you're subscribed. For the month of February, we're going to be celebrating Black excellence all month long, and I'm going to be highlighting several Black men and women for the month of February in honor of Black History Month. And then in March, we're going to be highlighting several women for Women History Month. I do want to say thank you to my fabulous producer, Mr. Paul Anderson, without whom this would not be possible, because he does everything. I'm just a talent, y'all. And then I also want to thank Paul Anderson Photographer for being one of our sponsors. Just remember, if you are interested in being a sponsor, please reach out to us. So we're looking for a lot of different sponsorship. It's not just financial, there's clothing and like anything. So just email us at Suzanne at positivelySuzanne.com. But I'm excited because, as Miguelina mentioned, this is her second time on the show, and it was actually January last year.
Oh, really?
It was because the memory popped up the other day.
Wow.
It did, yeah. So welcome back to the show.
Thank you. We need to start choosing warmer weathers.
I know, right?
Although this is phenomenal, cozy with the tea, I love it.
Absolutely.
The whole ambience.
Yes, well, the studio is warm, thank God, and then like the warm tea and whatever. This is my This is my thing. I love tea.
I'm in love with the new studio. The space is fabulous.
Yes. Well,
You
thank
guys
you.
did a great choice here.
Well, thank you. So Miguelina is a dear friend of mine. So actually, when we found the space, she was one of the first persons that I called, and she drove all the way out here. She didn't know I was going to say this, and come out to look at the space with us. And she was like, "Oh my God, Suzanne, I love it. I love it. I love
yes.
it." Yes. And she donated our fabulous Christmas tree that we had to take down.
Yeah.
My Christmas tree is still up at home, FYI. Like, how about your Christmas tree? Is it down?
I didn't do much decor at home because I spent the holidays decorating for other people.
Okay. Well, let's jump right into that because that wasn't where I was going to start, but you talked about it, right? You are the owner of Shall We Go Chic, which is, what is Shall We Go Chic? Like, let's talk about it a little bit.
Thank you. This is very spontaneous, right? Like, we didn't know we were going to go into that. But yes, absolutely. Shall We Go Chic events. It's my private small business. And with that, I am a social and corporate event business planner. So I can plan entire events from A to C, and I can do parts of an event project. Let's say the decoration or the day of coordination can be the coordination of the day of a wedding, for example, when it goes to social events. Or in corporate events, it could be coordinating the whole day for a gala or another type of corporate type of celebration, you know. So I love doing that. And, the holidays are one of those times that you get like a little bit of a peak in terms of the need for services. And then pretty much every weekend I had events or things that I was doing, putting a backdrop here, planning an event here and there. Even for New Year's, I planned a nice, simple but really nice New Year's Eve party for my family and friends. And since November until the beginning of January, and going into the winter wonderland, which I had the opportunity to do quite a few events with the same theme. You can go to social media if you would like to see some of those pictures and images on Instagram and Facebook at Shall We Go Chic. And check that out and our work over there. I love doing that.
No, I know. And you do such a beautiful job. I saw your post this morning. I was looking like it was like a baby shower and like just the winter wonderland theme. I was like, oh my God, that's so beautiful.
Yes.
Like,
It was a wonderful collaboration with some friends of mine.
Oh, okay.
We're both event planners and we are in the same city. And I love always using that example as do not compete, collaborate.
Exactly.
We're in the same town and we provide the same services in that side of my of all the things that I do. And then we collaborate fabulously and sometimes we even rescue each other. I have rescued them at times that they had big events in town and they needed stuff and my storage is right there and I had the time. And I went in, with backdrops and stands and things just to help them out with their event. So they will make sure to get a good recommendation from their customers because once in a while when we have big projects, then we call each other to make them happen.
And that's so important. You talk about collaboration. I think that's so important even when you're in the same space, especially when you're in the same space because nobody knows what you go through like another event planner, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If I have a big, serious project, event-wise, going on, I rather call what you may think it's a competitor, and it's really a collaborator, which is another professional that is in the same space, like you just mentioned, because I will have a very short time having to let them know what we need to do and how we need to accomplish it.
And they get it just like that, meaning, and then you try to explain it to somebody else who's not in that space and they have no idea what you're talking about. Like, what do you mean I need 30 doilies? Like, what? Like,
yes,
so
correct.
They get it.
Yes, and now the key, and this is very close to my heart, by the way, the key to having collaborations work like that and stand in time is to have values in place. And those values need to be part of you as a person and they need to become part of your business. So for example, in that collaboration, I am very respectful of my collaborators' customers, for example. and that's something that we care about.
Yeah.
If we are doing an event in their name, only their name is spoken at that time, and vice versa. So we make sure that, because that's part of what people fear of collaborating with competitors. Like, are they going to steal my customers?
Yeah.
Are they going to, take credit for this and that? And that's where the values come in place, respecting each other's customers, honoring the partnership and the business. And I think that's very valuable. And when you know that you can trust in that way, then the partnership can flourish.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't partner with everyone as much as we would like to la-di-da. You can't. There's some people that, again, because your values don't align and because you don't trust if they'll, just say to the customer or not try to steal your customer, because folks will do that, like bold in your face and, try to take credit and all of that. So, but I'm glad that you have some other, event space people that you could reach out to. And I know that you did a couple big events. I know you did the Winter Wonderland Gala. That was lovely.
That was lovely, yes.
The website, yes.
Oh, yeah, that was a fantastic opportunity to beautify the DCU Center of all places, right?
Very nice.
Right here in Worcester. So thank you to the Wellstorm, a nonprofit organization, and also for One Child organization, the two nonprofits that are doing beautiful work for our children. And they had that fundraising gala in early December, and they gave me the honors of making that Winter Wonderland image come to life. That was a pleasure.
You did a good job. You did a great job, I should say. And then you also did for my ball, you did the backdrop and then you did the centerpiece. So
yes, that was lovely. I love doing that. And
Yes. So she is very busy during the holiday. Believe me, I know. I don't think we got a chance to even hang out much during the holiday because, we were both so insanely
we were
busy.
trying. No.
We tried.
We were trying to schedule even maybe a Starbucks coffee or something. We couldn't.
It just didn't happen. We would
because you're busy too.
No, I said we were both. No, it wasn't just you. We were both so busy. I had no free time in terms of to just, and how I feel about you. But the holiday is a busy season for us. So,
absolutely.
Which, thank you, Jesus. But I think we have to make sure that we maximize these months that we're not busy to get out. But today we're on our show just chatting.
Exactly.
And having a good time.
And to wrap up what we were talking about, these things about collaboration.
Yeah.
Both you and I, we also advise small businesses.
We do.
And we try to encourage new entrepreneurs to get started and get their feet off the ground. And this message is so important for them as well because as small entrepreneurs, when they are starting in a new space, they may not have all the resources. They may not have all the equipment for the services and goods that they need to provide. And more often than not, that's the time where you probably need the most collaboration. So, going out there, building that network, and trying to find the people that you can vibe with and share those values to do business in an honorable way. Yeah, it's a nice way of a small businesses starting to do bigger things by collaborating with other people.
Absolutely, and as you say, you and I are both in that space where we coach, we counsel, we advise. We help out small businesses, and I think there's a lot of people in that space, and I think especially with small businesses because they can't afford to pay 15 people. And sometimes essentially we're all saying the same thing. So sometimes it's just rare to rate and even they're with someone that's like, hey, this is a good person to, work with, great things like that, complimenting somebody. They come to you and they're like, hey, I'm working with somebody, but I know you do this. I was like, this person's a great person. Don't then try to poach that person's client because we're all in the same field. And it's your integrity is so important.
Oh, it is so important.
It's just
it's so important because when you compromise that, people that compromise their integrity, they're doing it for a short-term gain. And at the end, in the long run, it will hurt you more. Yeah. So that's what people need to think. It's rather, you rather lose something right now and for the sake of collaboration and gain that trust because it will reap better benefits in the longer term.
No, absolutely. It's a long-term goal. Your reputation is so important. And I always say to people, I'm mindful of the events that I attend. I'm mindful of the people that I associate myself with. It's not judgment. It's like, it's okay. Like, this is a certain lifestyle that you want, but that's just not who I am or what I want. And, I don't want to have a reputation of somebody who poaches somebody's client. So
Correct.
Respectfully.
It will come and haunt you if you do that. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And then also the life of the what you will call the solopreneur,
Yes.
right? The solo business owner. It's so hard. There's so much to do.
Yeah.
Because you're working in your business, you're working for your business, and you're doing everything that your business has to do, from administration, accounting, marketing,
Everything.
social media, delivering the service yourself, talking to your clients. And then you cannot do it all. And when you are starting to get those, larger orders, larger projects, if you don't have that network of trust with other entrepreneurs that are in the same or similar space, then you cannot get it accomplished.
No, not at all. So, honestly, I think if I were to say anything, it's just like, keep your honor. No matter what you do, keep your honor. Even if it seems like other people are succeeding by doing wrong things, even if it seems like you're not getting ahead, keep your honor, do the right thing, because you're in it for the long haul. And you want to be able to sleep at night, and, just honor you, stick to your values, collaborate, and not with everyone. It's okay not to collaborate with everyone. It's not that you're in competition with them. It's just that it's okay, like you and that person. So I would say this to somebody, like, I love like tea parties and fancy and sequin and all that. And I have some people that like absolutely do not like it. And like horror themes, like I just can't be around it. Like the Halloween themes.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the blood, the
Horror,
gore,
yes.
and
I'm
things
not
like that.
I'm not a fan of horror.
I'm not.
Either.
So
Yeah.
if somebody says, "Hey, Suzanne, I would love your partnership with this. I'm planning this party like it's a Halloween haunted house," I just would have to respectfully decline.
That's fine.
Because it's just, I know it's not me, and it's like, I'm going to get paid, but like it just,
and if that's a line that you have, that's okay.
That's a line.
It's okay if that's part of the structure of your business. I know someone that is very successful in the edible industries,
Yeah.
and that person has a strict boundary of not mingling with CBD and all the stuff, just
Yeah.
because they don't want the confusion of then people assuming that all the edibles that they sell are containing
Yeah.
other elements. So,
Yeah.
it's a boundary for your business. It's fine.
it's a boundary. So, boundaries in life and everything, right? So, yeah, collaborate, absolutely. Make sure it's the right collaboration. Your reputation is important. Partnership is so important. And just find people that you can reach out to that, can support you in your goal. And, I know one of the things that's so important to you is mentoring.
Yes. I love mentoring. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that you have a couple of mentors, and there's one, Miss Lily, that is a mentor. She's so sweet.
Oh, my mentees.
Yeah,
yes.
your mentee.
Well, we're both mentors is another thing that we have in common, right?
Yeah, right.
And mentors need mentors.
They
So
do.
I do have my my very select number of people that mentor me and people
Yes.
that I look up to.
Absolutely.
Because that's also a fact that where we need to be humble. We all have so much to keep learning. And everybody else can teach us something.
Yeah.
And then there are people that are ahead of us, might be in one or two fields in life or more, that can be our teachers. And then we can teach other people that are coming behind us, maybe because they're younger or they're starting new in a new space that we may know a thing or two better than they do. And it's no, I say always, like, knowledge is like a river. You're supposed to drink from it and let it flow. Right? So learn everything that you can, but let others drink from the fountain of knowledge.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And that's what mentoring is. And that's what is so beautiful. So I'm learning a lot of, leadership aspects and staying open to feedback.
Yeah.
Because if you don't stay open to feedback yourself, you cannot see those things in you that you need to improve, that you need to, maybe change or sharpen. And only staying open to that feedback, you can keep growing like that, and also have the tools to be the same kind of chisel, if you will, a nice, kind chisel to somebody else in helping them in mentoring as well. So yes, you were mentioning Lily's Accessories. Ileana Torres,
Gotta
she's my
give her a shout
mentee
out.
from the Para Todos program, which is a beautiful local program that I've been involved with for the past few years, now in a different volunteer role. And Liliana has been doing beautiful with her business, seeing her grow, seeing the transformation of her brand. Please visit Lily's Accessories Plus on Instagram and Facebook, please. She's doing a phenomenal job. She's local to Worcester. Another, one of our great immigrants in our community, just like me and many of us, right? That are coming to add value to our city and to our country. So that's beautiful. She and her husband and their family, they are creating these authentic, original creations for female accessories, and it's so unique. Their art and everything. I have a few accessories of the ones that they produce. Not the one that I'm wearing right now.
No,
but,
right. I'm like, yeah, I know she gave me something, but I'm like, this isn't it.
But they do beautiful work,
They do.
and their business is thriving. And she has transformed her brand beautifully. The presentation that she has in all the town, fairs and things like that, you can see the growth of the brand, and that's something that fills me with pride. And she works so hard for it.
Wonderful.
Yes, and I also have a new mentee, which is a guy that his last name is Marine, and he's a personal chef. And we're starting the mentoring very recently with the new group right now. And I'm excited to see where that goes because he has a unique proposition.
Yeah.
Where he mixes an art and knowledge and history show together with prepping the food in your home or your space.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So if he's doing, let's say, a Spanish menu for you, then he accompanies with the Spanish music and explains to you the origins of the dishes that he's preparing and things like that. It's like a whole
That is
experience.
beautiful.
Exactly, and I am delighted to see that he's doing and helping him, take that to the next level.
All right, that's wonderful. And and those are the two formal mentees that you have. But I personally, because I personally know you, I know that there's a lot of folks that, count on you, me included, will reach out to you for advice and, things like that, just because, like I said, we're all in this together. So thank you for all that you do and giving back.
Thank you very much. I love helping everybody that I can. There are a lot of small businesses in town, not only to Worcester, but in Central Mass, of a lot of young entrepreneurs that I know and that are close to my heart and I love supporting, and even a lot of local nonprofits.
Yeah.
So every time I have the opportunity that I can juggle, between my things to help out and donate my time, or my talent or my resources with any of the nonprofits in the area, that's something that I just love and enjoy doing.
Yes, no, I know. She is a font of knowledge and information and loves giving back and all that. Like, that's why she's on the show, because I really wanted to talk to you about a lot of things. And, one of the things that I want to congratulate you on, like you were recently appointed as the board chair for the Central Mass Conference for Women.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Like, did you see that coming? Like last year when you started the year, did you know that you were going to be adding one more role to your already busy palette?
Not at all. I had no idea. It's been a beautiful surprise.
Yeah.
The Central Mass Conference for Women, it's going on the third year now.
Yeah.
So it's been 2 years already. And before, my predecessor was Sylvia Ruiz, by the way. And she was the chair for the first two conferences. She did a phenomenal job launching the Central Mass Conference for Women in Worcester. So kudos to Sylvia. Big shoes for me to fill because I admire her a lot. And those events were fabulous.
Yes.
The mother organization is the She's Local organization. And there are a few local chapters in different regions of Massachusetts. So I've been a member or assisting to these conferences for maybe 7 or 8 years with the Metro West conference. And then that's how I met, Jen Masita, the founder, and a lot of board members from different groups. And then when it came to Central Mass, I was, of course, among the first attendees. And last year, I had the opportunity to be a panelist and test another role within the organization. And then this year, when Jen called me to ask me to be the chair for the third conference, I was, blown away and absolutely honored. She's so nice and so kind. And the fact that she thought of me as the person to do that job, it's absolutely humbling and something that I take, very serious, close to my heart, trying to make sure that we bring women together.
Absolutely.
Our local women together to uplift, to embrace, to help our local women from Worcester and Central Mass propel them to new heights in life, in business, in their life journeys and in their careers, etc. It's just beautiful to be able to do that.
Well, congratulations. And I really do admire She's Local and Jen Masita, who started the organization. It's funny, I don't know if you remember this, but when you and I just met, which we met in 2022, you told me about She's Local, but you were telling me about the Metro West one.
Because that's the one that I used to attend.
Yeah. You're like, you have to be a part of this. You have to get involved. You have to speak at this event.
Central Mass was not yet
It wasn't yet,
a thing.
Yeah.
That was before then.
It was.
Yes.
Yeah. You're like, you have to, and look at like 3 years later, look at it. You're like, you have to speak there. I'm going to connect you. And I will tell you, she jumped on that computer and she introduced me to Jen via email. And who knew? Like last year, we were both panelists and, for here. And it was just a wonderful event.
Yes, I just want to make sure that we leave a little learning for our audience, especially entrepreneurs and young folks that might be getting ahead in their career. The power of intention. They might call it anything else, the law of attraction, the law of vibration, you name it, but the fact that we talked about it just 3 years ago, I'm just gonna, take it from where you were just saying, that we talked about getting involved in the conference, getting, a more impact role. Last year we were both panelists.
Yes.
And I introduced it to Jen. And then this year, both of our roles have grown because I am now the chair for the Central Mass, and you are going to be our awesome MC at this year's conference. So just look at the power of intention, the power of, speaking your goals and the things that you envision for yourself and your career. And we both did that. So
did.
I guess, we call this into existence.
We did. Manifestation, and you said something so important there. I think because we live in this right now culture, like we want it right now, but I think you and I are mature enough to know that sometimes the thing that you want is not immediate, but still be good, still continue learning, as you said, still continue to drinking from that river of knowledge and growing. Because who knew? Maybe 3 years ago, I wasn't ready for this role.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
And me neither, probably.
Exactly. So, we never know. And it was, you introduced me, and I don't even know if Jen remembers that. Because,
probably she doesn't. And then the funny thing that 3 years ago, I didn't know so many people in Central Mass as I know now.
Yeah.
And then I embarked into a couple of years of just being present. And like some people have told me sometimes, you're everywhere.
You are.
It's like you are omnipresent.
It's okay.
So it's a massive work.
Yeah.
Together with that, manifestation and calling in, the hard work has to be in there.
Absolutely.
So being out there, getting to know people, building out those relationships, connecting folks to one another, helping other people without, looking at an immediate or retribution at all. And then all that flourishes. It's just like seeds that you plant that at some point you're going to start, reaping the fruits of your labor.
Absolutely. Like you have to, like, you can't look at each relationship as transactional. Like
Correct.
meet people because you genuinely want to meet people. No, absolutely. If there's somebody you admire, ask them questions and, things like that. But like when I coach people, I always say to them, when you meet someone, your first thing should not be, what can they do for me? Because I promise you, eventually they're going to notice that. And you cannot build authentic relationships if all you're focused on is the transactional piece. You'll build a transactional relationship, and those are fine. Like I have transactional relationship. I give them money, they give me product, right?
Correct, because in business you have a fact and a level of transaction when you have a value to add. Your service or your product. So even though it's a quid pro quo, you are delivering something of value.
Absolutely.
But that's in business. In life, there are things that are, no matter what you believe in, whether you are religious or not, but there are laws that are invisible to us, that are all around us. And for those laws, you have to put in good things into the universe, because those vibes are gonna come to you.
No, absolutely. Like
in the same way that you put it.
Absolutely.
The same goes sadly for when people try to block others from their blessings, which sadly sometimes happen. And I've been myself, sadly sometimes, learning or hearing that maybe somebody tried to close the door for you. It might happen once or twice. It doesn't matter. But that karma is going to be on them. You do good.
Do good.
You do good, because
good.
you can sometimes not stop what someone else decides to do.
Yeah.
But you are in control of how you react and how you respond going forward. And if you stay in your own vibration, in your own emotions, the way that you normally do it, without regards of whatever they are doing to you, you keep your energy clear.
Absolutely. Let's jump back to the conference, because there's so many things I love about this specific conference, the Central Mass Conference. It's the affordability.
Yes.
It is. What's the cost?
$65 is the cost of the ticket. I hope I'm saying the number right. But it is so affordable compared to the value that you get in the conference. It's a full day, spending the day with amazing group of women. They tend to be around 300, 400 women together in a room for a whole day. The energy, all the learning, the topics, the tracks that are being discussed on the panels. You can choose what topics are closest to you that you want to hear about during the day. We have the inspiration of the keynote speakers. We have all that vibration, and then the relationships, the people that you meet there, that a lot of them can become lifelong friends, or they can become partners, or sometimes just even a good referral, like one door that opens another door that opens another door, that you never know where it's going to get you. So that is the power of the conference for women, and really uplifting you. And also another way of seeing the real in human beings, because normally when we interact in social media and in business as well, we tend to highlight only, the successes, the good things, the highlights. And then this is an opportunity to see the real thing. Sometimes women may have their confidence being hurt, maybe because they have lost a job, or maybe they have gone through a divorce, or they have lost a family member, going through something like that in their lives. And then coming to an event, a conference like this, you realize that you're not alone.
Yeah.
That you're not a not duck, that the odds are not stacked against you, that we are building a thrive to help you get ahead, because we all have gone through all of those things together, at different points in our lives. So it's very uplifting in that way, very enlightening for women. and then you get a whole day. You know, it's at a beautiful hotel. The meal is provided. We get to see all the vendors that are catering with products and services that are geared towards women, and you know, you see what you like from there. The music is fantastic. We have a phenomenal DJ.
Yeah,
Alicia Lopez. Hey,
I'm getting ready to
out.
dance.
Exactly. So, you know, it's a whole day, and $65 doesn't even cover. You get a swag bag with a lot of goodies from all the sponsors and vendors, and it's just amazing. And then we start the day prior with a kickoff show, and then we end the conference with a little bit of a girly party, and it's all included in the price of the tickets, and it's amazing. So absolutely great value.
It is. I couldn't attend the first year because I was working. I remember because it was my last day at my previous role, and I just couldn't call out my last day. Although I had sick time. But anyway, so I didn't attend. Last year, let me just tell you, just the camaraderie, the sisterhood, the price was exceptional because that was one of the things that drew me to it. I'm like, here's a conference that is open to everyone, because when a conference is $200-300, it's sadly not everyone can afford that. But to see so many women that look like me or you there, you know, like you said, it's a beautiful space. We had all these local vendors that you could shop from, and you know, like you're learning from experts and people in your community, people like that might have been like on the outside of your vision, but you didn't really connect with. And, you know, I got a chance to listen to so many different, and, you know, the keynote speaker, I remember there was a moment she was speaking, and I love the fact that she wasn't perfect, because I think a lot of times when they're trying to choose speakers for conferences, they choose someone who's perfect because everybody wants to see the glamour. But she was successful, but she showed her human side. And I remember at one point, you know, she was in tears, and then all the other women rallied around her and was like, you know, go on, share your story, you still have value. And I think the fact that she spoke to the struggles that she had touched the woman so much, because, you know, she wasn't up there listing a long line of accomplishment that sadly most of these women will like shut themselves off and say, you know what, I'm not even going to achieve it, so why bother? So seeing the humanity, I think that was so important. And it was my first time I attended, and I loved it. And then like Alicia Lopez, like the DJ, like she threw down at the end. At one point, you and I had to go sit down because girl,
we were partying.
My feet were like, I like, Alicia, like that night when I went home, my feet and my body was like, you should not have done that. But during the conference, girl, I had a good time.
It was a lot of fun. Yes, and thank you for saying that, because it was so beautiful, like you say, to see and hear that the keynote speaker was not presenting a picture perfect life or history, and our lives are not picture perfect. We can all be going through transitions, and even myself, I'm in the middle right now of a professional transition, and maybe years ago I will have taken that time as maybe an opportunity to retrieve myself a lot, because you might feel like you don't have, you know, the fancy titles to go around and announcing yourself and so forth, and women may be going through personal situations that they may think that they're not worthy of being celebrated or things like that. And this is the kind of things that the conference demystifies. It's okay to celebrate you, and you're not alone in having to go through a tough time. You're not the only woman here who has lost a job, or that has gone to a breakup, or that has lost a family member, or that it's worrying about menopause, or you know, like all those topics that worry and affect women. You know, negotiating in your career, how to get ahead, you know, the eternal fight for equal compensation, and all those things. all those topics that are, true to us, and it's a safe environment to discuss those things and to get empowered and to learn tools that will help you in your journey. I think it's an amazing opportunity.
No, absolutely. I honestly, like, the power of sisterhood is so important to me, and that's one of the things I'm going to talk to you about today. Why is it so important for you? And well, we'll talk about the conference because we want to wrap up with talking about just the conference. The date of the conference is June.
Yes, very good point. It's on June 6th of this year, 2024. It will be the third Central Mass Conference for Women, and it will take place at the AC Hotel by Marriott, which is the same place that the first two conferences took place.
Beautiful space.
Beautiful space, yes. And please, we invite you all to go to sheislocal.org or Google sheislocal.org and look for the Central Mass chapter, because there will be a lot of other local chapters. In the Central Mass chapter, you will have all the links that you need, first of all, to learn about the conference. What we're going to be doing, the dates, the location, everything. You can go there and buy the tickets. You can buy the ticket for the conference, and you can also buy a smaller ticket for the kickoff event the night prior, which is a lot of fun. I encourage you that if you can do it, get that ticket. And that includes like a phenomenal appetizer table and drinks and the show. So it's also absolutely... It's a real steal.
It is. Listen,
it is a steal.
It's nice. It's
correct.
Nice.
And then, so get those tickets. Bring a friend. Bring coworkers. And also things that you'll be able to find in there. If you are either a small business owner or a big business in Central Mass, but you are catering to women, we still have spaces for exhibitors. To have a table at the conference. So it's a great way to reach this particular wonderful demographic. So in the website, there's also a link to apply to be an exhibitor. And we will only be accepting people there until we have limited spaces. Because we want to make sure that the place is not overcrowded. So there's a limit to that. So we invite you to do it soon. And we also still have opportunities for a sponsorship. So all the big businesses, organizations, banks, and other industries in Worcester and Central Mass that would like to be part of sponsoring this beautiful event and be part of encouraging women, minorities in business and career and in life, we still have those opportunities for sponsoring. Please go on the website and reach us out. There's the email as well on the page in case you have any questions. So please go there and learn about that.
All right. Listen, she gave all the information. Great conference. I'll be there. Make sure that you are there. The kickoff the night before also includes dancing. FYI. So
the dancing is included.
The dancing is included. So it's a really good time. So looking forward to seeing you all there. But I wanted to go back to my earlier question, and I think you and I have had a lot of conversation about this because sisterhood is so important to me. But why is it so important to you? And what are the benefits of sisterhood?
Sisterhood is so important. I know that maybe in this day and age, this might be a touchy subject that society likes to think that we're all the same, men and women.
We're not.
We're not. We communicate differently. We behave differently. We need to connect at a deeper level. And if we don't have that drive, sorry, my cough is killing me. That we can do that safely, we cannot be ourselves, and then we cannot shine and grow.
Okay, yeah, no, you're good. Okay, all right. So, and I think one of the things you said about, we're different, and it's okay to be different. It's okay.
It is okay to be different.
To celebrate your differences. We communicate, because not everybody that looks exactly like you will think the same as you do, because we have differences in gender, in race, in religion, in sexual orientation, in socioeconomic status, like just in the things that we like. It's like my sister, my biological sister, same mother, same father. Like we just are not alike in like just the things we like in terms of show. It's like
Let me tell you, I am a twin,
you're a twin, yes,
and we are not alike at all.
Isn't that funny?
We're not alike physically, emotionally, mentally, and we love each other dearly.
Absolutely.
We love each other dearly.
Yeah.
But we couldn't be any more different. If we were not sisters, we probably wouldn't be like in the same circle of friends because not because we wouldn't like each other, but because we probably wouldn't be vibing with the same topics.
Exactly. And but the thing people think because like you don't like if you don't have the same thing as someone else, like you can't be friends, or like if they're different, like you have to hate them. No, like your sister, she's your twin,
Yeah, I love her to death.
Absolutely. But my sister, if we were sitting here and she's probably watching this, so girl, you know who I'm talking about. I've been drinking tea and she'll be sipping tequila. So that's just her. So every time, like if I invite her somewhere or invite her to my house, she's like, okay, I'm gonna bring my own alcohol because you dry house. Like it's like
Too funny.
And I'm like, once I bought her this because she was coming over. I was like having a sister dinner, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make the dinner and whatever. So I bought her this bottle of wine, I'm not going to call it out because I don't want anybody suing me, to say, hey, I'm trying here.
To embrace you and,
To embrace you. She's not an alcoholic, but she drinks, she likes her.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Like
I like my, my glass of wine once in a while.
Absolutely. So,
and I love a glass of red wine once in a blue moon. I love it.
Exactly. So I'm preparing this nice meal and whatever, and I bring, I'm just going to say W. And so I have this lovely bottle that I was quite proud of that, and I gave it to her, and she took a sip, and then she just put it down, and I'm like, I noticed she wasn't drinking it. So then finally I was like, what's going on? She was like, never buy me alcohol again.
You don't know anything about this.
She said, I appreciate the gesture, but that was horrible.
It shows that you know nothing about the topic.
That's what she said. She's like, I appreciate it, but I will bring my own alcohol. Whatever. She's like, I don't want you to waste it.
Exactly.
She's like, I couldn't even choke it down. I was like, wow. And it's not that it was cheap, but apparently it was just not good. So like, I don't know how to. So it's the same, like, because it's like we don't even dress alike in terms of like I like sparkles and tutus and all of that. Give her sneakers and her
jeans. There might
be
things that you have like and things that you don't have alike. Like my twin and I, one of the things that we have in common is that we are both super social.
Okay.
Oh my God, we're both super social. And she's even more social than I am.
Really?
So if you think I'm very social, you will be surprised.
Wow.
My sister is way more social than I am.
Oh, wow.
So that's the thing that we have in common. So all through our lives, we have had groups of friends that are like so large. Like from primary school, everybody remembers us. From middle school, from high school, we were like, loved and adored by everyone. In our neighborhood, we have so many friends from our neighborhood. And the neighborhood, when we were growing up as teenagers, you know how kids are. We had all these different groups that had different like lifestyles. People that were like rock and roll, and people that were like into the local music in the Dominican Republic. And we were friends with everybody.
Yeah.
So we were like the common denominator for all these different groups of friends. So that's something that she and I have in common.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But however, she's more spontaneous than I am. I have to say that. She lives more in the moment. I could learn a thing or two from her. But she can learn a thing or two from me also to, sometimes refraining herself and maybe planning ahead a little bit more. So that's something where sometimes we... one of the points where we have the most friction. Yeah. Because she's always in the moment. Okay. Oh my God. And then sometimes that drives me crazy because I am the one that learned how to delay gratification. But maybe I learned to delay it to a fault.
Too much, yeah.
And, once in a while I need to learn how to let go and enjoy myself. But she's in the opposite side of the spectrum. It's like, oh my God. You're going to be old one day, right?
Like, yeah. Oh, my God. You know what, though? And that's the beautiful thing. Our differences should not separate us. Should bring us together. Like, my sister, in terms of, like, she hates surprises. Like, I love surprise. Well, good surprises. Like, I love surprises. Like because if I call her and says, "Hey, I have a surprise," she wants to know right away because immediately she goes to bad news. She thinks it's bad news.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, and she's my biological sister, but like, there's women in my life like you, quite a few. My best friend Marianne, my best friend Talita, and then there's just quite a few women that like are so important to me. The power of sisterhood.
Oh yes.
That I could just pick up the phone and call and talk about something random, and
Absolutely.
they pick up the thread. Just like sisterhood is so important.
Like no time happened between this call and the other call that you had 2 years ago.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely. I have a few friends that are like my soul twins, for real, and I will name them because they know who they are. They're so close and dear to my heart, and they're not here, but those are the friendships that I bring from like many years, and that will be Carolina. I'm on the first one, Evelyn, Maciel, Julissa, and a few others. Those are my sisters for life.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if we have not connected for a while and we are just, getting together after a few months or years. It's just like the time never happened.
No, and I love that. And I, honestly, my bestie, Talita, who lives in Brazil, just saying, like, we will go months without talking. She lives in Brazil. There's a time difference. She has a kid. She's busy. I'm busy. Like, we just never. And, like, I'll pick up the phone randomly because I hear a song that we used to play, My Boo by Usher and Alicia Keys. And I was like, oh, my God. And then we just go off for, like, 2 hours. And then we're done. And it's just, like, not like, oh, you didn't call me or, I don't know, like, woman, young woman, middle woman, old woman, just I want you to focus so much on building true female friendship, woman that understands what you're going through, woman that will lift you up when you're feeling down, woman that will correct you. This is an important piece when you're being too much. Because I think that sometimes, because if you have somebody who has genuine love for you and they give you advice about like, okay, girl, you're a bit much, like calm down, bring it down a notch. Yeah. Like you're not offended because you're like, okay, I know I was.
Yeah. Well, there's this duality nowadays, which is very tricky. People that if you share any type of feedback, thinking that they need to maybe improve on something or do less of something, they might take it personal.
They do.
And they might start taking it the wrong way. Oh, they want me to be someone else, or they're trying to, dim my light and whatever. It's like, no, oh my God, no.
No.
And sometimes you got to be careful because if people are not prepared to receive feedback, it's better not to give it to them as much as you suffer from seeing them going through what they're going through or missing opportunities because they have not fixed something that they do or that they are. It's tough to see them lose opportunities to that, but you also got to be careful who you
do
give the feedback because if they're taking it personal, we all have things that we need to work on. So first of all, always be holding that mirror because nobody's going to hold it better than you on your own hands. To look at yourself seriously and say, I need to improve on this and that. And also, when you have someone that there's a connection, a friendship or whatever, and they're trying to tell you something that you maybe don't like too much, just take a pause. Just take a pause. Don't reject it right away. And then just sit with it for a little bit and try to see if there's any reason in what they're saying and if there's actually something that you can learn from it. Because if you cannot learn from anyone doing that, then you're not coachable.
No.
You're not mentee material either. So how are you going to grow if you think you have all the answers to everything? No.
No, absolutely. You have to be coachable. And you are correct because there are times that like with my girls, with my friends, with people, my girlfriends that I'm close to, I don't take offense if they say, because I know my areas of opportunity. Well, I hope. I know most of them. And same with theirs. So like when they tell me something, it's from a place of love, or when, I tell them something, they know it's from a place of love. But you're right, because with somebody who you are just social friends with someone that you're not actual friends with, and I know the difference, sometimes just giving them a piece of advice which you think is going to help them they take it the wrong way and just run off with a tangent. I'm going to let y'all know, if I give you a piece of advice, it is coming from a place of love. It's coming from me wanting to see you win. It's never from a jealous place. It's never from a wanting to put you down. I believe in lifting women up and empower them. I like, my purpose in this life is to help other women see their light. So if I tell you something, like, you believe that I am really and truly trying to help you present yourself in a better light to get exposed to more opportunity. I'm not asking you to diminish your authentic self, because I'm big on authenticity, but I might be a little wiser in some respect where I see something that you don't. And I will pray that if you offer me the same counsel, that I will receive it in the space that you are sending it, providing it's coming from a place of love. I'm not going to say it's always going to be like that, because again, sometimes when you get feedback, you're like, oh, until you stop and think, and then you're like, okay, really, I should have. But like, I want to see women build sisterhood, Miguelina.
Thank you. And you just said something beautiful, because as I've been clicking with everything that you've been saying, the same way that we share a feedback with love, the same way we need to make sure that we stay open when it's our turn to receive that feedback. So I will encourage any of our friends and people that love us, either for me, and I know that for you as well, you will be open to that. If you have a recommendation, if you have a comment, do share, because I will entertain the thought. I will at least give you the respect to entertain the thought, and then take from that what I need to take to be better in life. And speaking of that, taking the point where you were talking about of sometimes being too much. I think the care that we need to be there, because it's okay to shine your own light as bright as you can, and people cannot take offense to that. I love what you shared the other day on your Facebook, like, do not let my confidence offend your insecurity. What is the guy's name?
Dan Sanders, Coach Prime.
Coach Prime, yeah, that's a wonderful quote.
Oh, I love it.
I love that. At the same time, when we are in circles of women, and we are shining bright, we need to make sure that we are only not taking care of our own shine, that we're also making space and leaving space for others to shine equally. Because in the search of shining too much, and if we forget to let our sisters have their time to shine, it's very easy to fall into what is the queen bee effect. And we got to be careful of that. Like, if there are circles of people that revolve only around one person, or we need to share the light within the group and with others as well, just to make sure that it's not only going to the same person, and then that we leave people in the shadows.
Absolutely.
And also, sisterhoods don't have to be circles that are going around the same center all the time.
No.
We can have a sisterhood where everybody's unique. And not everybody needs to be a leader if they don't want to, but also not everybody has to be a follower if they don't want to. People can be their own and still be fine and provide respectful, beautiful friendship, even if no one is a follower to anyone. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Just let people be.
Let people
like,
be.
you and I went to an event the other night. We didn't know anybody but each other, and we had such a great time. And
that was incredible. And we spent a lot of time apart.
We didn't spend the whole time together. Like, we were not, because like you were doing your thing, like, but we still know, we were there and things like that. And it was sisterhood. We had never met any of these people before. And it was just such a great time. And you bring up a great point.
And
in
beautiful new connections are coming.
Oh
from
my
that.
goodness. Yeah. I'm so excited about it. They invited me to something the other day and I couldn't make it. But I was at an event in Boston last year, and I remember walking in, and I was trying to sneak in. And yeah, I know I say this, but I couldn't apparently. And so I walk into the room, and there was this lovely, beautiful young lady. And she was like, hi. And she was like, okay, she's like, the queen is here now. She's like, I'm just going to step aside. I said, why? So I was like, girl, come on. So I put my hands around her, and, we walked around and we talked and we continued. And, because when another woman came in, she immediately felt like, okay, Now I had to pull back. I
Yeah.
said, no, let's do this together. Like,
Yeah, let's shine together.
let's shine together. No, I don't want to dim your light. And I think that, there's some women, because like sometimes if they're introverted, they're like, oh, okay, like there's not enough room in this room for all of us. There is absolutely room.
Correct.
In the room
or
for
thinking like, oh, I
every
shine too
single
bright and you shine too bright, so that's a problem for me. No.
Like, no.
We all can shine very bright.
Like, yeah, let's do this. Let's dispel the myth that we can't get along, B, we're in competition. Like, we got one life to live. I don't know if you've been watching the news, and this is going to take a dark turn, but people are dying younger and younger. So,
Sadly so. Sadly so.
live your best life. Be kind, be kind, be kind, be generous. Be happy, just live. And that quote, by the way,
I love that.
I love that. And you actually had sent it to me once, and I said, "Oh my God, I have this quote in my thing, and I've shared it with you." Because I just think it's funny. Because it's like sometimes you see somebody that's confident, and you get offended by it. It has nothing to do with you.
And people, for some reason, tend to feel insecure.
They do.
In front of someone that is very confident.
You're telling me, girl?
And and also the other misconception is that if you feel confident, maybe you think that you're better than me, and that has nothing to do with it.
Nothing.
You can have all the self-love for yourself while also holding space for loving others, and that doesn't mean that you feel inferior or superior to anyone. But people tend to confuse self-confidence with a sense of superiority. They are very different.
They are, and I'm going to go back to what you said earlier about holding the mirror to yourself. So if you feel that somebody is feeling superior, first examine yourself to see if it's something that you're projecting onto that person, because it's a lot of times, scary as that might seem, what someone is thinking has nothing to do with you. But because you're in that moment,
has to be with their own situation, their own perception, their own persona, everything.
So don't assume. Meet new people. Say hello to somebody that you were afraid of approaching, and if it progresses from there, great. And if not, like whatever, just let it be. I'm excited because it's Women's History Month is coming up in March. Yes. And not only do I have the show that I'm highlighting, Phenomenal Woman. For that month, I'm
going to connect a few phenomenal women to that show.
Thank you very much. And okay, so I only have 8 slots, people. So it doesn't mean there's only 8 phenomenal women. It's just that's what I have time for. But I'm working on something that will give a space for more women, because I want to see more women shining. We have so many things coming up for women. The conference for women and things like that. So sisters, I want to see y'all together this year. I want to see you guys embracing, celebrating, and lifting each other. And as you are a fabulous, fabulous queen that I'm so honored to have in my life. And
likewise.
And I learned so much from you. And, just thank you for always saying yes. Thank you for always being a listening ear. And, just thank you for being you.
Thank you. Just the same, right back at you. Thank you for being you and being there for me, and I really appreciate it. And if I just want to leave the audience with the last invitation to follow She's Local Central Mass Conference for Women on Instagram and Facebook. There are a lot of juicy news coming up in the next few days. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for when the tickets are coming available. We're going to be selecting the panelists very soon. Just connect with us.
All right, perfect. All right, so that's the She's Local. We have about 1 minute left. Any advice for our viewers? I know we talked about so many things: entrepreneurs, sisterhood, being kind, being humble, and all of that. So if you had like 30 seconds or 10 seconds, how would you end it by encouraging our audience?
Let go of the scarcity mindset. There is enough for everyone. And if you think there's not enough, it's because you're looking too inward. There's always the possibilities. And if the table is small, the table can be increased. If the cup is small, the cup can be turned into a pot. There's always room for growth. So let go of the scarcity mindset. There's enough for all of us.
I love that. And with that, that was my fabulous guest, Miss Miguelina Peralta. So much wisdom, so much knowledge. I absolutely adore her. So make sure that you're following her also, and just excited for some of the future collaborations that we're going to have. As always, thank you for tuning in. I will have a brand new guest today at 5 o'clock, And until next time, this is Suzanne and Miguelina saying bye-bye.
Bye bye.